It was something of a contrast as Donald Trump sat ringside at the Grand Sumo tournament in Tokyo, alongside the First Lady and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. An unconventional president watching the most ritualistic and traditional Japanese sport. Earlier in the day, the two leaders had a round of golf, but on Monday the games will stop and they'll get down to business, although no significant announcement on a trade deal is expected. It's thought that Shinzo Abe won't make major concessions, particularly in agriculture, before an upper house election in July. US producers want better access to Japan's food and agriculture markets that have traditionally been protected by subsidies and other non-tariff barriers. The rural voter base is one that Shinzo Abe won't want to risk losing.
Ironically, US farmers would have had better access to Japan if the United States had remained part of the Trans-Pacific Partnership multilateral trade deal that came into force in December. But Donald Trump pulled the US out of that agreement after he won the election.
Trump also wants to revive the US car industry, believing that imports have harmed American innovation. As he arrived in Japan, classic car enthusiasts gathered outside Tokyo, keeping the glory days alive.
What I like most is the design and also the sound of the V8 engine. I don't think the design has aged. The designer who came up with this car 50 years ago is amazing.
To help the revival, the president wants Japanese companies to invest more in the States. He may demand Japan limits vehicle exports and has threatened to increase tariffs.
Japan has been there before. In the 80s with the Reagan administration, what was agreed at that time was a quota, an upper limit for cars, and that resulted in major investments of Japanese car makers, in particular Honda and Toyota, in the US economy. I do think that the negotiations are heading in this direction again.
For now, this visit seems to be mainly about relationship building, with Japan trying hard to impress and keep the United States on side. Wayne Hay, Al Jazeera, Tokyo.